Welcome. Improv 2 Saga presents The Assassin King. It is a warm spring day. The trees are brushing, dancing to the breeze around them. People have gathered from different clans and kingdoms to see a tournament, to choose a champion for their barony. They rally together, they warm up, they train. They set up their representatives and prepare their champions. A young, slender king approaches, a large goblet in his hand, a smug look on his face. A robust gentleman beside him. "Oh yea, oh yea, His Highness has approached. All rise." The crowds turn and stand. The slender man approaches his throne, barely noticing any of those honoring him. He doesn't care. He sits in his large throne, sipping his wine and eating his fruit. Bored, he dismissively waves. "Let the tournament begin," his herald cries. "Our first champions, the Kingdom of the East and the Kingdom of the West. Bow to your king, bow to your loves, bow to each other, for honor and glory. Lay on." The two unleash their ferocity and their skill, banging their shields and swords against each other. But the king slumps in his throne. "Oh me. Every year it's the same thing. They approach from all sides and they want to be the champion. Oh, these tournaments are so long and boring," he moans. "But my king," the herald speaks, "this is such a great tradition and event. It's not interesting. All they do is knock each other out eventually, and then it's boring. It's only a matter of who's better with a sword and who can block with a shield. Oh, bring me my wine." "But sir, you've had 3 bottles today." "I don't care. I want more." "But sir, you've drank them all." "Oh, well, bring me something else then. Something to relieve this boredom and this tension. What is it? What is those local peasants drinking?" I believe that's called I believe it's. Oh, never mind. Just get it. Just get it. I want it now. I don't care what you do. You throw them a gold piece or two. Just bring it here. This is boring. The herald bows. "As you say, my king." And quickly he rushes off. Several contests and tournaments go by. Victors leave, defeated, slump out in shame. "Where is that blasted herald of mine?" the king grumbles, barely noticing that one of the contestants have made a toast to him and risen his sword. "Sir." What is it?" One of the guards gestures out to the champion, bowing and saluting the king. Oh, yes, yes. Carry on. Good Godspeed. Carry on. Shut up. "Where is that lad?" "Oh, there he is. Herald." "I've got it, sir. Here it is." "What is this?" "I believe it's. I don't care. Just pour it. But just pour it now." The herald pours a large glass and serves it to his king, who greedily takes it and drinks it down. This is terrible, putrid. This is what the peasants drink. Oh, it's no wonder they live the way they do. It's all we could have, sir. It's all we... Oh, well, if it's all we got, it's all we have. Give me more. One fight later, the king rocks in his chair from side to side in circles. That hit harder than I expected. Wait. Oh, who's the champion now? Oh, the bloke with the greatsword. Oh, congratulations, hoopy-doo. You won. You know how to smack somebody around with a large bladed weapon. Oh, this would be so much interesting if they... Wait a minute. Harold. Yes, sir? What is it, those savages? How do they fight? Well, there was one where they use... I know one set where they use a pair of rope to tie each other's arms and use daggers to stab each other. It's such a brutal manner. Good. Oh, yes, the king stands. Make an announcement. The next contestant we shall change the rules. I wish to be entertained. But, do as I say, Harold. Yes, your highness, yes, right away. The herald stands up on the podium. Oyez! Clansmen, guests, patrons, the king wishes to be entertained. He requires that the two champions fighting currently stop and adjust their fighting style. You will no longer be using weapons of honor, you will be using butter knives and rope, and you will be... The herald slowly turns to his king, who weighs him on vigorously. Blindfolded, the herald says, with nervous hesitation. The crowd is silent. They stare at each other. The champions stand up. For honor and glory! For the king! We shall do this challenge. The king rubs his hands together. The two champions are blinded, tied by the hands by a 10-foot rope, and given knives. For honor and glory! They shout as they charge, wildly flaying, pulling at each other, stabbing the air and themselves. My king, the herald says desperately, they might die. That would be entertaining, would it not? I'm not sure, sir. It seems very brutal. Well, if I'm going to drink like a savage, I might as well be entertained like a savage, should I not? Yes, your highness. Yes. With one swift thrust, one of the champions falls over dead. The victor pauses, unsure what to consider a victory or the loss of a distant friend. The king arises, stumbling to his feet, and half claps, his fingers and palm barely touching each other. Bravo! Good show. Next. More people come and fight. He sits down. The next one shall be... I require 2 of my champions. Sir, isn't that my job to... Now, shut up, Harold. The king pushes his herald off the podium, who rolls down the stairs. I'd like the next 2 champions to use great weapons, be tied back to back, and smack each other over the shoulders. The crowd stares at the king. The next 2 champions bring large great swords. Enter the ring. For honor and glory! For the king! Obediently they stand back to back. while they are being individually tied, then tied to each other. Their swords ready. The king announces, "Are you both ready?" "Aye, sir. Lay on!" The two smack over their shoulders, swinging, dodging, moving, trying to get a good look at each other. Left and right, right and left. They swing wildly, their swords being locked up, their arms, their legs. They fall down, rolling on the ground, and through the mud they try to stand up. Their discoordinated metal and heavy armor pull them. The king laughs and applauds. "Now this is entertaining." The two desperately, feverishly, with ferocity and aggression, pull each other back and forth. One leans back and with his pommel smacks the other in the neck. Pulling forward, he hears a sickening crunch as the other one goes limp. His dead weight pulls the other one down. A loud "oof" as the previous slain opponent's sword penetrates the once victorious one. Both champions lie destroyed on the battlefield. The king laughs. "Bravo! Good show!" The crowd is silent. They stare at each other. Hesitantly, they applaud. Sobbing and screaming can be heard as the dead champions are removed from the battlefield. "Bring on the next set, but this time we shall be more entertained." He considers for a moment. "I know. I would like 4 champions this time. Bring out their squires." 2 robust knights and 2 young squires approach the battlefield. "Hand your squires your weapons, blindfold them, and instruct them how to fight each other." The champions stare at each other, and then at their squires, who are unarmored and unfully prepared for such a task. "My king," one champion says, "would it not be wiser to—" "I am your king, you shall do as I say." The champion slowly lowers his hand. "Yes, your grace." "Now lay on." The 2 squires are given soft, blunted weapons. Broomsticks, basically. Blindfolded and spun around at the king's request. The champions step back. "For honor and glory," the king shouts. "Lay on." One champion instructs his squire, "Take 5 steps forward." The other one shouts, "Attack!" One squire viciously swings and wildly over his head, as the other one obediently takes 5 steps forward. He's immediately knocked to the ground by the other. The champion runs over to his felled squire. He lays there, his head cracked open. He examines him. The boy is barely alive. The king laughs. "Now this is entertaining." The knight takes what is left of his young squire off the field. "Now bring in the next challengers." The next 2 approach. The champion, entering the battlefield, raises his hand. "Your grace, may I suggest one for the next entertaining sport? Certainly. May the next one... I propose that the one who is successfully able to shoot an apple be the victor over his shoulder. And the apple must be placed on someone's head. The king applauds. Splendid idea, splendid, I love it. Perfect. The champion gestures over to a member of his clan, who slowly approaches the king from the side and offers them a bowl of fruit. Oh, thank you, very splendid. And it helps the king sit back into his chair. While loading their crossbows, one champion speaks privately to another, gesturing in the king's direction. Your Grace, the clansman says, as he allows the king to greedily go through the fruit. Please, sit still. What? Certainly. Unaware that there is a large red apple being placed directly on his head. We are ready, sire, the champions shout. Oh yes, yes. For honor and glory, belay on. The two champions glaze over at each other, nod their heads, and aim their crossbows. Thank you, and good night.